And so what would you share with our listeners, Paul, briefly about to recruit the right people, to how to train them and lead them? What would you share?
Yeah, I think it does start when it's a student leader. And so student leaders that we see potential for staff, we'll actually give them a fairly heavy load. We're not forcing them to do anything, but we're saying, hey, would you like to lead the setup team? Or would you like to take this fraternity for Christ and start an evangelistic Bible study and reach this fraternity with a small team? We send them in as missionaries into these fraternities or dorms or things like that. Mm-hmm. And those that take that on and carry a heavy load, the key is not being afraid to give people heavy loads, because we're doing it. And that's what it takes to see ministry, and seeing how they respond to that. And even as they move into the staff position, I'm still trying to give them lots of responsibility. I'm not trying to baby them at all, because I want them to learn how the best kind of training is on the job training. And that's how God shapes your character, when you're learning to be dependent on God and rely on God. And they're on staff for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. They're there to help. They're not there to be my ministry. They're there to help us do ministry. And so I do pour into them. I do help them and shepherd them along the way. But I think actually calling to them a high standard, that's what Jesus did. That's what the Apostle Paul did in his disciple making, is having that high standard, and then being outward focused. Every staff member, every student leader, every staff member has a personal ministry target that they're trying to reach out to. So they may lead the Tuesday night worship, or they may print the handouts, or they may do these life groups, community groups, but all of them have a certain niche, affinity group, pocket of people that they are doing ongoing relational evangelism, where they're trying to share the gospel and to build those relationships. And some are more fruitful than others in that, and that's okay. But we all want to be kind of on the front lines of evangelism on campus, so that we are doing what the students we're asking the students to do as well.
Yeah, it's always been kind of a mystery to me when someone wants to come on full-time staff with a particular ministry, but they weren't doing on a part-time basis what they now supposedly will be doing on a full-time basis.
Yeah.
And the biggest indicator of what someone will do in the future is what they have done in the past.
Yep.
And so if someone says, I promise you, if I come on your staff, I'm going to really start witnessing. I'm going to really start discipling and starting small groups. Well, tell me, what have you been doing this last year or two on campus? Well, I haven't really had time. This is going on, this is going on. So really, that is a great indicator, Paul. What you're doing is you're making sure that they're personally engaged, right, in the Great Commission efforts, and they've picked out a ministry target, and they're engaged in trying to witness and disciple, but also have various ministry responsibilities that you're delegating things out to them. You're really giving them a taste, aren't you? Yeah. And seeing how they do. It's almost a Luke 16:10. If that person is faithful in the very little things, well, yes, they'll be faithful also in much.